Lovers of freedom, advocates of democracy, men and women of conscience, heads of governments. United States President Donald J. Trump, we the Biafran salute you with tears in the pool of our blood. In 1914, under the British crown, Lord Lugard drew the boundaries, forced two different people to come together. North and South collided, no consent, no marriage vow. A marriage built on fraud from the beginning. Republican East welded and forced together with feudal North in chains. Different blood, different ways, different value systems, different cultures, different religions, different languages, different ideologies, but they forcefully bound us together, like mixing water and oil together to become one. Original sin of coercion planted deep in the soil. From that day, one Nigeria was born to bleed and toil. Fraud and force become the DNA of one Nigeria. Anything built on lies will surely fade away. One Nigeria, the inherent meaning is clear. Nothing but death to its citizens year after year. Blood in the rivers, hunger in the air. One Nigeria means that we declare. One Nigeria means death. We reject the prison, we choose life and liberty instead. Biafra rising from the ashes of the dead. Then in 1966 came the pogroms. All people Biafran slain in the north. Thousands butchered in the streets for the crime of being born Biafran. Then in 1967, Ojukwu raised the flag so bold and declared Biafra independence for survival. Nigeria answered us with total war, using starvation as their weapon of war. Blockade on the children, kwashoko everywhere. Over 5 million souls perished in that bitter genocidal war. Genocide in Biafra, written in tears and pain. One Nigeria, the inherent meaning is nothing but death. Nothing but death to its citizens year after year. Bullets and hunger become the harvest they reap. One Nigeria means death. One Nigeria, we reject the prison, we choose life and freedom instead. Spirit of Biafra never dies. In 1970 they said no victor, no vanquish, but the lie was plain. Marginalized quota system, merit thrown in chains. Biafrans were given 20 pounds only, no matter the amount they had in their bank account. Federal character killed the dream of hard work and excellence, while Fulani militias heard as terrorists brought endless pain, suffering and death. Middle Belt burning, Southeast under siege by terrorists reintegrated to Nigeria military. Organs of young men arrested daily. Unarmed Biafran protesters massacred by Nigerian jihadist military. Sit-at-home civil disobedience turned into graves of young Biafrans by Nigerian army and police. Extrajudicial killings, abductions on the roads and streets. Highways turned into slaughter zones. Farmlands became Fulani jihadist killing fields.
This is not failure. This is one Nigerian system working for the British government. Biafran natural resources are exploited and stolen by one Nigeria domination and domination through and through. Merit is punished. Freedom is called treason. Forced unity at gunpoint. Nigeria rejected a Bure Accord. Today restructuring the Titanic will not and cannot save a sinking ship. Nigeria DNA is domination. Nigeria was never meant to be one from the beginning. True unity must be willing, organic, born of choice, not a prison of nations where the inmates have no voice.
For over 100 years, the history of Nigeria has been written by the blood of the innocents. One Nigeria rewards terrorists. We are not asking for hatred. We demand the right to live and survive. The right to build, to innovate, to let our children breathe. Biafra is not revenge. Biafra is rejection of death's decree. Biafra is rejection of death sentence. Biafra means industry, justice, rule of law, self-determination and liberty. From Lugard's fraud in 1914 to the struggle of today, the cry remains the same. We will not fade away. One Nigeria means death to its citizens. One Nigeria means death. Slow death by poverty, sudden death by bullets of terrorists, jihadists integrated into Nigeria military. We choose life, we choose Biafra. Long live the spirit of our fallen heroes. Long live the struggle, long live the land of the rising sun. The future is ours, we know. God bless Biafra Republic government in exile under the leadership of Prime Minister His Excellency Ogechukwu Nkere, for standing up for Biafra independence. We choose life, we choose Biafra. Long live Biafra, long live self-determination. To be one Biafra, we choose Biafra.
Great people of Biafra. This is the voice of Biafra, the voice that cannot be silenced, the voice of truth, resilience, and freedom. Speaking to you in the spirit of courage and in the language of liberation. Nigeria government has lost control over insecurity. Fellow listeners, what was once whispered in fear, what was once denied in arrogance, has now become a reality too loud to ignore. A nation staggering under the weight of its own contradictions is rapidly losing control over insecurity. From the north to the south, from the east to the west, the land trembles. Not from natural disaster, but from man-made chaos. Communities abandoned, villages raided under the cover of darkness, highways turned into corridors of fear. Citizens left to fend for themselves. In a country where the government once promised protection, the question now echoes across the land. Where is the government? Where are the security forces? Where is the accountability? In recent times, markets have become targets. Travelers have become victims. Families have become statistics. And yet, those in power continue to speak in rehearsed tone. Detached from the suffering of the people, observers say, this is no longer a matter of isolated incidents. This is systemic failure. A collapse of responsibility. A nation where innocent lives are wasted daily, as fear grips the population. a new reality emerges. The people have lost confidence. Trust has been eroded. Hope has faded. But here, on this frequency, we do not deal in fear. We deal in truth. And the truth is this: a government that cannot protect its people has failed its most sacred duty to the people. Listen. Remain vigilant. Remain aware. Remain strong. Nigeria has failed its citizens, and in awareness lies survival. This is a wake-up call. You are listening to the voice of Biafra, where truth lives and freedom speaks. Biafrans stand firm until justice speaks louder than silence. And stay safe. God bless Biafra Republic. God bless Biafra Republic government in exile.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits that kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Can you hear the cry from the broken land, from the wounded hearts? Nigeria, they bleed, people they cry, tears for the ground, nobody asks why. Over 7,000 souls don't fall every single day, we still there call.
Churches burning, hope fading fast. Since 2009, the pain don't last. 50,000, maybe more. Heaven they count every single soul.
Children without home tonight, mothers praying through the night, fathers lost no strength to fight. Who go stand for what is right?
Oh, stand for love, stand for life. Be the answer in this time. You can have to wipe their tears, you can calm their fears. Give a hand, don't turn away. Be the light in darkest day. Every little you provide keeps a soul alive.
Voices crying in chains, silent echoes filled with pain. 19,000 churches gone, but faith still rising,
Holding on
in the ashes. Hope remains, love can heal the deepest pains.
shelter, broken dreams erase. Hungry hearts we can embrace. Let compassion take its place. Now's the time to show His grace. Stand for love, stand for life. Be the answer in this time. You can help to wipe their tears. You can calm their fears.
miracle they pray for. You can change a life today.
No matter how small it seems, your love can rebuild their dreams. Together we can make a way. Keeps us so alive. In the heart of Africa, a nation bleeds, not from a single wound, but from 1,000 cuts, inflicted by a false union, never meant to endure. This is the story of 9Geria. A giant built on false foundations, now straining beneath the weight of its own contradictions. And at the center of that storm stands the unbroken spirit of Biafra, crying out for freedom from a nightmare that has consumed millions. It began with the rivers of blood in 1966. Thousands of Biafran men, women and children, professionals, traders, students and families who had built lives across the Federation, became targets in the northern city, fueled by ethnic hatred and religious hostility. Mobs descended upon innocent civilians. They were slaughtered in their homes, in crowded markets, and aboard trains carrying desperate families back to the east. Streets were littered with bodies, rivers choked with corpses. Survivors returned to the east carrying trauma, grief, and the painful realization that they were no longer wanted in the Nigerian Union. Biafra, Biafra, voice of truth and freedom. Biafra, Biafra, the rising sun will rise again. Then came May 30th, 1967, a desperate act of survival. What followed were 30 months of unimaginable devastation. The Nigerian military, armed and backed by foreign powers, including Britain, Russia and Egypt, surrounded the young republic. A total blockade was imposed. No food, no medicine, no escape. Starvation became a weapon of war. 5 million, mostly civilians, many of them children, perished during what was not just a conflict but genocide against Biafra. Bombs fell on markets, hospitals and villages. Communities were razed. The world watched in silence while famine hollowed the faces of innocent children. Some nations spoke out, but many turned away. The war officially ended in paper in 9Geria under the declaration: no victor, no vanquished. Yet for Biafrans, the suffering did not end. Their properties were confiscated, careers destroyed. Biafrans were given only 20 pounds regardless of how much they had. Entire families struggled to rebuild shattered lives. The promise of reintegration faded into disappointment. Marginalization deepened in Nigerian government appointments. Infrastructure and control of resources from Biafran land. Oil flowing from the Biafra land enriched the center, while much of the east remained neglected. Roads deteriorated, industries collapsed. Biafra, Biafra, voice of truth and freedom. The rising sun will rise again. The nightmare did not disappear, rather it evolved. Across Nigeria today, violence and insecurity continue to devastate communities. Armed attacks by Fulani herdsmen, terrorists have left villages destroyed, farmers killed, women violated, children orphaned and churches burned. Boko Haram and its offshoots have unleashed terror across multiple regions in the southeast. Demands for Biafra and self-determination are often met with military crackdowns, arrests and bloodshed. Protesters have been killed, fear and tension continue to rise. These tragedies reflect the deadly consequences of forcing vastly different peoples into one political structure. Through the 1914 British amalgamation, distinct ethnic nations, religion, traditions, ideologies, and systems of governance were merged without consent and without a shared national vision. The North's feudal and religious conservatism can never blend with the South's entrepreneurial drive. And the East Republican individualism attempts to hold the Union together continue to be at the cost of innocent blood. Why does Biafra matter?
Biafra means self-determination.
Biafra represents dignity, survival, and the right of a people to life and choose their future.
Biafra
symbolizes resistance, innovation, enterprise, and hope. The vision is of a nation with secure borders, focused development, protection of its citizens, and economic engagement with the world of future, free from oppression, fear, and perpetual conflict. The solution is not endless political conferences, military force or federal quota system, but a peaceful separation based on shared values and voluntary association. History shows that artificial unions often fracture violently, while honest separation can allow wounded nations to recover.
Biafra is not dead, Biafra lives.
It lives because the desire for freedom cannot be extinguished. Nigeria's ongoing crisis, corruption, insecurity, poverty, and division are proof that one structure cannot hold people with dangerous diversities together. For the million already lost, for the children yet unborn.
Biafra,
Biafra independence is non-negotiable. Let Africa remember that true unity cannot be sustained by force. The world must listen before more lives are lost.
Biafra,
Biafra lives, freedom calls. God bless Biafra. God bless the land of the rising sun. God bless Biafra Republic, government in exile, led by Prime Minister His Excellency Okechukwu, for standing tall in the pursuit of Biafra independence.
Biafra, Biafra.
Is noted. I did not say rejected, but noted. The reason I say so is that the man standing in front of us could be regarded as a solution to the current insecurity in the country. And we are not here on our own. We are here representing our constituents. And our constituents would like to hear from him whether his appointment will enable them to sleep well, whether their children will be safe in schools. So we are not asking him questions because we don't like him. We are asking him questions because our constituents would have loved to ask him questions at a time like this. So if we come here and we do politics of bow and go, this is not a period we should say bow and go. Even Donald Trump is on our neck. We have not yet asked him what his response will be to Donald Trump, the President of America. He is not just anybody. Chief of Defense Staff, a nominee for Minister of Defense of a country, and you stand up and say you should take a bow and go, with so many questions on the mouth of Nigerians, with over 200 Nigerian children in the bush, kidnapped and being tortured. His appointment is heralded all over Nigeria with happiness because Nigerians believe he has something to offer. Give the man an opportunity to give Nigerians hope. Mr. Nominee, you answer questions, but you will not give any strategic information on the strategy that you use. Don't take it that we are not happy. We are all happy. We applaud, Mr. President, for your nomination. We have a lot of hope in you based on your track record. But a few questions are begging for answers. The Senate has just set up a committee to find out from the cry of the governor of Kebbi who gave the order for the soldiers who had prior information that kidnappers were coming to the school. Is it St. Mary's School or where? Maga. And they went there and they even took the students to the field and taught the students what they would do when the kidnappers come. But 30 minutes before the kidnappers arrived, somebody gave order for the soldiers to withdraw from the school. And the kidnappers came and operated, and children were packed away. And the governor raised alarm all over. As the Chief of Defense Staff, former, now a nominee for the office of Minister of Defense, I want you to know that this senator has set up a committee to investigate who gave that order and why they withdrew to give access to kidnappers to take those children unhindered. It's something that people would like to hear from you. And as we speak now, Brigadier General Oba has not been found, whether he's killed or not killed. He made a phone call to disclose his location. Who gave those coordinates for the kidnappers or the terrorists to go and pick him? Those are questions begging for answers. And then somebody like you has highly placed in security service. You have been everywhere. You have attained all the ranks. You come before the Senate and somebody is saying, take a bow and go. When you take a bow and go, where is Brigadier General Oba? When you take a bow and go, where are the children? How are we going to get the children back? You should make a statement on that. Please, I will not want us to ridicule the nomination of the president. The president knows why he brought him. And he has ideas of why he brought him. Let him also tell Nigerians what he will do in that regard. He doesn't need to disclose the strategy. Point of order. Point of order.
The federal government, led by the Minister of Interior Abdulrahman Dambazo, met with the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in Kebbi State, offering them the sum of 100 billion naira over 2 years to stop the kidnapping in the country. The meeting lasted over 4 hours on Friday as negotiations dragged on, with the association initially asking for 160 billion naira. The minister said that the strategy was part of the steps needed to tackle insecurity in the country as prescribed by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The herdsman crisis has risen since 2015 after Muhammad Buhari became president. Their rampage has spread not only in the north but also throughout the southern zones of the country. The killings by the herdsmen has led them to be tagged the fourth most dangerous and deadly terrorist group in the world by the World Terror Index. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, who was also at the meeting in Kebbi State, added that over 1,000 people have been killed and many more kidnapped in Kaduna. However, he said that this intervention was necessary to bring the criminals to book. The Kebbi State Governor Atiku Bagudu said hosting the meeting in his state shows the seriousness of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in tackling the security challenges in the country. Responding, the president of the association, Alhaji Muhammad Kirua, said the meeting would serve as a foundation for peace between the Fulani headsmen and farmers and among Fulanis themselves. Roots TV, Nigeria.
Have
is to say to you, based on where you're coming from, the commendations and accolades that you've gotten from my colleagues, is to say to you that I will be requesting the Senate to give you like what had not been done before. You will be approved, but in principle it will be probational. If within the first 6 months these sensitive questions are not brought to bear in the affirmative, where is Brigadier General who authorized the withdrawal of soldiers 30 minutes before the operation that saw to the kidnapping of the MAGA, 25 children in MAGA, and etc., are not answered, or no progress is seen by the Senate, by extension the country, because the Senate is the country. We represent Nigerians here. If those are not taken care of within the first 6 months, this same Senate that members have applauded you, commended you, and will approve you, the same Senate will call on the President to send you packing, so that any other person that is saddled with the responsibility that you are saddled or will be saddled with, which quote and unquote will be within the sphere of security responsibilities, will sit up when and if such a person is saddled with the responsibility you are saddled with. To this, or with this, once more I congratulate you and I caution you to have, I don't know if you play polo because you are not a polo player, I would have known. But for you, for an officer retired that has gotten to the level that you had gotten, eyes on the ball. Thank you.
Great people of Biafra. This is the voice of Biafra. The voice that cannot be silenced. The voice of truth, resilience, and freedom. Speaking to you in the spirit of courage and in the language of liberation. Nigeria government has lost control over insecurity. Fellow listeners, what was once whispered in fear, what was once denied in arrogance, has now become a reality too loud to ignore. A nation staggering under the weight of its own contradictions is rapidly losing control over insecurity. From the north to the south, from the east to the west, the land trembles, not from natural disaster, but from man-made chaos. Communities abandoned, villages raided under the cover of darkness, highways turned into corridors of fear. Citizens left to fend for themselves. In a country where the government once promised protection, the question now echoes across the land. Where is the government? Where are the security forces? Where is the accountability? In recent times, markets have become targets. Travelers have become victims. Families have become statistics. And yet, those in power continue to speak in rehearsed tone. Detached from the suffering of the people, observers say, this is no longer a matter of isolated incidents. This is systemic failure. A collapse of responsibility. A nation where innocent lives are wasted daily, as fear grips the population. A new reality emerges. The people have lost confidence. Trust has been eroded. Hope has faded. But here, on this frequency, we do not deal in fear. We deal in truth. And the truth is this: a government that cannot protect its people has failed its most sacred duty to the people. Listen. Remain vigilant. Remain aware. Remain strong. Nigeria has failed its citizens, and in awareness lies survival. This is a wake-up call. You are listening to the voice of Biafra, where truth lives and freedom speaks. Biafrans stand firm until justice speaks louder than silence. And stay safe. God bless Biafra Republic. God bless Biafra Republic government in exile.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits that kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
A very good evening. Very good evening to all of you, and you're all welcome to Voice of Biafra Television. And today is Friday night. And as I welcome you to Voice of Biafra Television, please do well to welcome every other people and invite them to come on board, that we are live and direct. Voice of Biafra Television is playing live on the local channels in Biafra land and the entire Africa continent, most especially in the West African region. So if you have a decoder, please tune into Voice of Biafra TV and enjoy our series on daily basis. We're also live on YouTube, also live on Facebook, also live on X, and more other platforms that are being streamed interconnectingly. I salute everyone. And today being Friday, as we continue the program, we shall relay to Washington, D.C. to bring the Prime Minister to the Biafran people. So welcome to Friday night on Voice of Biafra TV.
Voice of Biafra TV.
First to speak, best to watch, last to ever.
Voice of Biafra TV. In the heart of Africa, a nation bleeds. Not from a single wound, but from 1,000 cuts, inflicted by a false union, never meant to endure. This is the story of 9Geria, a giant built on false foundations, now straining beneath the weight of its own contradictions. And at the center of that storm stands the unbroken spirit of Biafra, crying out for freedom from a nightmare that has consumed millions.
Voice of Biafra TV, the voice of truth, the voice of the people.
There is only one broadcasting network.
Voice of Biafra TV,
The first, the best, and the last.
Voice of Biafra TV.
We lead, we shine, we last. The first, the best, and the last. From the east to the world, hear the truth unfold. No other station does it better. Truth be told, real stories, real power, real Biafran soul. Every day, every hour, we taking control.
Breaking every silence, letting voices rise, standing for the people, opening their eyes, strong and unshaken, both for all to see, broadcasting the future.
Voice of Biafra TV. There is only
Welcome back to Voice of Biafra TV. On Saturday is always our general fundraising of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. And on Sundays we have town hall meetings. And some town hall meetings also comes up on some of the weekdays. You're invited to be part and parcel of the financial support of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. What we do in life echoes in history. Never a time had we thought that the international media would be writing and publishing about Biafra with Brgie without us paying them a dime. But now, as we speak, a lot of media houses that we've not even known have been researching and digging into Brgie, which you and I are inside. They dig in all the diplomatic work that we do in Washington, D.C. They dig in all the templates that are being used by Brgie. And every department and sectors and affiliated bodies or groups that are in line with Brgie, they check them. They report every document that we have submitted to the U.S. Congress. Both the ones you see publicly and the ones you don't see publicly. They make the research that you yourself don't know. So, when you sleep and wake up and you see that the Nigerian government are after you, they are after PM Okechukwu Nkere, they want him to be arrested and locked up and deported to Nigeria, then your past leaders of Biafra in prison are also working so hard to see that Brgie is brought down, while others are filing lawsuits to take Brgie to court and to send them to prison so that Brgie can be dissolved. You should be asking yourself one pertinent question. If we were all folding our arms, if Brgie was not doing anything, if there was nothing on the table, would Brgie become a threat to the Nigerian government? Will Okechukwu Nkere become a threat to the Nigerian government? Will Brgie become a threat to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that he wants us to scrap Brgie? Will Brgie become a threat that Mazi Simon Ekpa sues Brgie because of Brgie's continuation on Biafra and its diplomatic work in Washington, D.C.? So if you are in Brgie, you should have your shoulders high. Yes. Because if you were useless, Nigerian government would not go after you. And nobody will give a damn about you. You will not be talked about or reported in the medias or in the front pages. Your handiworks will not make the lines. You will not be discussed. You will not be an important issue that Nigerian government will have to pay lobbies over $9 million to lobby and see a way of bringing an end to Brgie in Washington, D.C. So this goes a long way to let you know and understand that it is a Brgie that has been working and moving forward and having results in Washington, D.C. that has necessitated attack to come on its government. If Brgie was docile since 2024, November, since Mazi Simon Ekpa was imprisoned by Finland government and Nigerian government, if Brgie had no way forward, if Brgie stopped its diplomatic work in Washington, D.C., if it stopped every meeting that was supposed to go on with the U.S. congressmen and women, if it had stopped making any campaign and pulling so much strides and having so much records, today Brgie would not be a talk about issue. It would be dead and gone, because this was the agenda of the Nigerian government and Finland government, that when they will imprison Simon, that the rest of the Brgie cabinet will be in chaos, that every bullet that will be thrown at Brgie, we will run away, we will not stand again. But if you check, the best of records and achievement that Brgie has ever attended has happened since after the convention in Finland. You see records and records, results upon results, and you see remarkable threads that are going on. You see the congressional testimony that happens to be the first ever congressional testimony in life, which Biafran people have submitted to the U.S. Congress. You see first ever congressional briefing. You see first ever deal made public of Biafra and the United States of America. You see for the very first time that the Biafran government in exile having the opportunity to testify before the State Department of the U.S. government. All these have happened within the pace of January 2025 to August 2026. And Brgie also contributed to the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Testimonies and evidences, meetings upon meetings, has driven Nigeria into this chaos. Welcome back to Voice of Biafra TV. So like I said, if Brgie was asleep, if Brgie was dormant, if Brgie became useless, if there was no leadership of Brgie by His Excellency Okechukwu Nkere since November 2024 to this day, Brgie would have remained dumb and useless. And there wouldn't have been any record of going forward or anything to hold on to. And we wouldn't have been a threat to the Nigerian government. We wouldn't have also been a threat to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu IPOB group. We wouldn't have been a threat that Mazi Simon Ekpa will now have to file lawsuit against Brgie. So it takes a strong team to create enemies. If you're not strong enough, you cannot create enemies. If you're not resilient enough, you cannot also make results. If you're not formidable enough, you cannot move forward in the face of depression. Brgie has been that weapon, that diplomatic weapon that has made Nigeria to tremble. And every other person now turns their barrel on Brgie, because we are sending the message that we are supposed to send to the US government in every diplomatic meeting with the lawmakers and the policymakers in America. And we're not going to stop in a hurry. Brgie goes nowhere. All right, before we get to the second segment of this very program, we want to go to Tinubu's drug files. That's where we want to go. Because there have been publications about his drug files. This news emanated today on the media, and it got me thinking, because what the news headline said is kind of shocking. It says, FBI to US court, disclosing Tinubu's records could endanger lives, reveal techniques. Now, mind you, I want to be very clear. Tinubu's file can be released as long as it is needed to be released. After all, the Venezuela president was captured in office by American government, a drug baron, an Escobar of our own time, and then the Mexico president as well, and many other drug cartels. Now we see the Colombian government, they are working hand in hand with the American government to see that they bring down the drug cartels that have infiltrated America and destroyed the lives of Americans, and also the life of the entire world. Because it is the money that is made from the drugs cartels that they use to fund terrorism. Yeah, you have to play the bad game, be the bad guys, fund the terrorists with the bad deal monies so that they can keep the game going. If you don't play so, everything will not work out. So they have to balance the equation. They have to balance everything so that it will work out for them. So, the drug files of Tinubu is needed to be released. And I also wanted to release, and I support it. But I want people to understand something. The Nigerian people that we know are very useless and docile. And I will give reasons for calling them those names. And they are also idiotic in nature. I will also explain why I call them all these names. Because you cannot tell me that it is until the drug files of Tinubu are released before Nigeria will be better. It is not until the drug files of Tinubu are released before Boko Haram terrorists will stop killing all of you. It is not until the drug files of Tinubu are released before you will all wake up to know that a drug baron president is the one leading you. After all, who ran behind him when he was sharing the money for the election period? Who campaigned for him? When the same American government were telling you that Tinubu is a drug baron and he has his drug files on their system, what was the actions and reactions of the Nigerian people? The Nigerian people turned deaf ears to everything, and everything was going the way they deemed fit. They even told the American people that they should stay clear of Nigerian politics, that America do not decide who is their president or who is their politician. The same way that American government today have unveiled that Kwankwaso and Meeti Allah and some other people are sponsors and affiliated to the terrorists in Nigeria. And they have made a clarion call and said, we are sanctioning these people. American government have sanctioned these people. But what is the Nigerian people doing? They are embracing the same Kwankwaso. They are embracing the same terrorist affiliated leaders, which American government have told you they are affiliates of the Islamic jihadist terrorists. So I want to ask a question. Is it until after American government releases the drug files of Tinubu, is that what will make the Islamic jihadist terrorists that are carrying out the Christian genocide to stop? Or is that what will make you as Nigerians to wake up or stand up to now go after the terrorists and be proactive about saving your lives? I weep for the idiosyncrasy that runs in the heads of many of you. Honestly. Babies, women, and children are slaughtered on a daily basis in Nigeria. Yes. And as these babies, women, and children are slaughtered, the federal government of Nigeria does nothing about it. And also, the Nigerian people do nothing about it. There are lifeless bodies slaughtered on a daily basis that are littered in the community. Many are being buried day and night. The question is, does it stop the terrorists when the case file of the drug dealings of Tinubu is brought to the media? This is what happened in Mangu community. This is Plateau. And this just happened recently. So my very question here is, how has the Nigerian people stood up to say they want to bring an end to this massacre? But I haven't seen any. How? So is it when they release the drug files of Tinubu that it will now be done on you people, Nigerians, to now wake up to stop the genocide of your people? Because to everybody that has been massacred in Nigeria, the next day you are all out in the market to continue your trade after you bury the person that the Islamic Jihadist terrorists have just slaughtered off their head. You want to go back to the same farm. You're not doing anything about holding the government accountable or even forming a defense mechanism or bringing an end to the Islamic Jihadist terrorists. Everybody goes back to their normal life of one Nigeria business as usual. And none of the babies, women, and children slaughtered can be brought back to life again. That's why we're asking a very pertinent question. Will the Tinubu drug files, when unveiled, now bring the consciousness of the Nigerian people for them to stand up to fight for their freedom? Will it make them to realize that the Islamization agenda is here and that it is ready to take all of them? Or will that make them to even stop Tinubu from being the president of 2027? No. Because the same people that are embracing Kwankwaso, they are the same people that are embracing Tinubu. Let's make an analogy here. Nigerian government are presenting 3 big criminals that have been in power with bad records to you. You have the APC terrorist party, you have the PDP terrorist party, then you now have the NDC terrorist party, you now have the, what's the other one? We see another one they call Accord Party, and many, many more. But what has come to be is that they have resolved in a coalition of quashing many of these political criminals into 3 big political faces. Today, what we hear is APC, ADC, then NDC, because of the coalition that they have done. All the candidates that are there are people that have questionable characters. Tinubu, his drug case is showing up here, right? Then, let's go back to, that is for APCO. Let us go back to NDC. NDC is Kwankwaso and Peter Obi. The Kwankwaso and Peter Obi that you people are talking about is the person that American government has unveiled as a terrorist sponsor and affiliate. Then Atiku Abubakar is the one that is carrying the flag of ADC. Atiku Abubakar is 100% inclined with the Islamization agenda. He told you the interest of the election is about the interest of the North. You cannot pursue or kill any Fulani man. And when a Fulani man is in power, you cannot send a Fulani man out and then bring a Christian as an infidel. So 3 people from 3 different parties that have come out with questionable characters. I want to ask the Nigerian people, who do you want to be your president? Because you are all going to choose from the same three criminal political terrorist parties. It's either you choose Kwankwaso, which American government have told you is sponsoring terrorists, or is either you choose Atiku, who is the father of the North, which is the Northern agenda of Islamic Jihad, or you choose Tinubu, whose drug file is on your table now. So I want to find out which one is best for you guys. Now, having said that, the case file of Tinubu is going to come out. The same way that the Venezuelan president was picked up as a narcotic kingpin, it should be the same way that they should pick any other president that is a narcotic kingpin. Tinubu should also be picked up the same way. Yes. But coming back to the consciousness of the Nigerian people with their dead brain cells, whether Tinubu is picked up or unveiled, my dear, the Nigerian people will not do anything, and that does not mean anything to them. Yes, they will only make noise in the media. All of a sudden, they will go back to BB Niger show. Before you know it, they go back to Nollywood. Before you know it, they go back to Peace Square story and Two-Face Idibia story. Before you know it, they go back to the video story. They go back to Whiskey. They go back to any story that is trending. This is how these people are. Their brain cells and their reasoning faculty has been sold out. So there's nothing good that can come out of it. So it's going to be a waste of time. But I want to see the drug files released by American government. I really want to see it. So let us go and read and see what the FBI said. Mind you, the person that has gone so far to see that these Tinubu drug files is brought to limelight now is his political opponent. So when everything turns political at this time, you guys should understand what it means. Atiku Abubakar, under the flag of ADC party, with the coalition that they did, they are the ones sponsoring the lobbies that is working to pressure the assuming of these drug files of Tinubu. That's why I see everything as being political. Yes, even when the president of Venezuela was picked up as a drug kingpin, there must be a political agenda connected to it. Yes. So, the one that we see now, the few that we see within Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar party, and Kwankwaso party is a political game. What is our problem? Our own problem is to watch and see how they all shatter, and we will utilize the opportunity for Biafra to march out victorious. But let us go and watch and hear the context of this very publication. They say FBI to U.S. court disclosing Tinubu's record would endanger lives. And I was like, hey, what record are they talking about? Is it the record of Tinubu's drug dealing that will now endanger lives. I can only listen to this one, reveal our techniques. But FBI cannot tell me that when they are coming to reveal or disclose Tinubu's criminal records, that they will go so low of revealing their own techniques which they use in capturing criminals. No, this one sounds so stupid. Yes, this very last point here sounds so stupid. And also saying it could endanger lives. This other one too sounds so stupid. Yes. Because for a drug baron, a drug pusher, to be walking the streets with all that he has done, he is already endangering lives with what he did and what he's still doing. So when you now say, oh, bringing his criminal record out will now endanger more lives. Oh, I want to ask a very simple question. Are you preventing the lives that Tinubu's criminal record will endanger compared to the one that he has already endangered? Which, when the criminal records are not brought out, the hidden records and the lives that has already been endangered will continue to be endangered. So that means it will multiply to endanger. So when you're saying it will endanger more lives, you're trying to use endanger more lives, which lives have already been endangered and are still being endangered by his act of narcotics and the files and documents. Then you want to keep it with the excuse that it will endanger more lives. The case and the files and the criminality record is already endangering lives. So there is nothing to hide. It's either you're being politically correct or you're trying to hide the record of Tinubu criminal act in America, or you're playing pranks. FBI, hey, make una stop to play to the lobbying money. Yes, make una stop to play to the lobbying gallery. We understand that the lobbyists that Nigerian government pay Tinubu, that they are working very hard to see that they convince the investigative department not to release this document. But the excuse of it will endanger lives sounds so stupid. The excuse of it will reveal our techniques, it sounds so stupid. Because even a child knows that if you tell a child, open your bomb bomb and show me, that child will really show you in bomb bomb. The child, if you carry a hand, show you like this, say, see my bomb bomb. You say, no, I want to see your real bomb bomb. He say, no, see it from here. My mother said, I should not show you my real bomb bomb. He go show you only the one way he wants to show you. Okay, you say, look at the one I'm showing you. The one you're asking for. My mother said I should not show you. And there is nothing you will do that that baby will show you, or that child will show you that bomb bomb, which the mother has told him or her not to show anybody, to keep it private. So, there are private techniques, there are private information that is not to be disclosed. So, FBI cannot tell us that in the process of them unveiling the records of Tinubu, that it will go and unveil their techniques. That is bunkum. Yes, they should look for better excuses. So let us read what is here, so that if you have not seen this publication, you will understand what is happening. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has filed a motion seeking to submit expert in-camera declarations on why it withheld information about its investigative records relating to allegations of drug trafficking against President Bola Tinubu. An ex parte in camera declaration is a written statement submitted solely to a judge by a party in a legal case. In an application dated August 20, the FBI told the U.S. District Court in Colombia that it cannot publicly explain all the reasons it is withholding certain records, hence the need for an ex parte in camera declaration. So, a copy of the application was published on X by Von Batten Montague York, a Washington-based lobbying firm recently hired by Atiku Abubakar, the former president and the former vice president and presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, for 2027 elections. The FBI said it has invoked various Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, exemptions against the request for Tinubu's records from 1992 to 1993. The U.S. law enforcement agency said if it acceded to the request, it will, among other things, disclose techniques and procedures for law enforcement investigations and or could reasonably be expected to endanger the life or physical safety of any individual. Wow. So, is it the physical safety of Tinubu that you are talking about here? I want to understand. Is it the physical safety of Tinubu? Or is it the physical safety of the other criminals that were involved in these drug deals? Whose physical safety will be endangered in unveiling the case file of Tinubu, the drug president? If American people were having a drug president, will the FBI say they cannot release these files, that releasing the file, that it will endanger the life of some individuals, when the life of Americans are already at stake? The FBI should do better, because whoever the individual safety is that you guys claim that the investigation could reasonably endanger their lives and physical safety, you should consider the lives of all the Americans first. The life of all Nigerians first, not just the life of few individuals. The narcotic business that destroyed the lives of Americans, thousands of millions, is the same narcotic business that destroyed the lives of the Venezuelans. It's the same narcotic business that destroys the lives of the Mexicans. It's the same narcotic business that destroys the lives of every African, every American, every European, everybody in this world. I don't know how important and extraordinary the life and the safety of these individuals involved in Tinubu's drug case file, how important it has become. If President Trump could release the Epstein files The Epstein files uncovered many things. It even talked about how the COVID-19 was planned. It even talked about how Epstein was having fun with underage children. It even talked about how the Hollywood or Nollywood music industry do some fetish things in their ceremonies. And Nicki Minaj confirmed to this. The Epstein files exposed things that nobody would have wanted to be exposed in this world. So I don't know how the personalities involved in the case file of Tinubu drug documents, how important it has become that the FBI will now put a clause. But I can categorically tell you that this is not about the individuals they talk about. It's about the lobbying effort that Tinubu is doing on the contrary to also oppose Atiku Abubakar for going so hard to revealing these files. Coming up back here, you will see, they say, a copy of the application was published on X by Von Batten Montague York, a Washington-based lobbying firm recently hired by Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president and presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, for the 2027 elections. So you can now understand that it is a political fight. So you use lobbies to do the work in Washington, D.C. Your opponent will also have to use lobbies to also do the work in the same Washington, D.C. These are the facts we want people to understand. That is why the presence of Brgie and the lobbying effort in Washington, D.C. is very peculiar. And the way and manner the Washington, D.C. lobbying effort of Brgie has become, that is how you also see that the Nigerian government are also lobbying and fighting back. You don't expect them to go and sit back and also watch. That's why they are also lobbying to see that they bring Brgie down with everything that they have. Because we are also lobbying and advancing our cause to see that the Zoological Republic of the Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, is down. So we don't expect them to sit down and fold their arms. They must fight back. So when you all see this document coming out from the FBI, it is also the effort of federal government of Nigeria and Tinubu government's lobbying effort to see and make sure that the documents are not released in time. We hope they will succeed in bringing a document out later on. But like I said, whether this document comes out or this document doesn't come out, does that change the mindset of the Nigerian people for them to wake up to face the real threat that they have? Because there is a bigger threat that exists with them in their communities. This drug case document is deposited in America. That is not where the Boko Haram terrorists are. That is not where the Fulani terrorists are. That is not where the Islamization of Nigeria is going to happen. The Islamization of Nigeria is going to happen inside Nigeria. And they are warming up and doing press up That is why they are kidnapping you and cutting off heads of babies, women, and children on a daily basis and collecting ransom. Because that is where it is happening. So if it is happening there, why are you over worried about a document that is in Washington, D.C., which will not fight Boko Haram terrorists for you? Your main focus should be in the homeland, where you have your babies, women, and children heads chopped off on a daily basis. That is where your focus should be more. But it turns out that the Nigerian people are less concerned about how their babies, their women and children are slaughtered. So let's see, maybe if after unveiling the Tinubu file, maybe that will make them to wake up, to go and fight against Islamic Jihad in Nigeria. I can tell you no, because their stupidity stinks. So the U.S. law enforcement agency said if it acceded to the request of unveiling the Tinubu's drug records of 1992 to 1993, that it will, among other things, disclose techniques and procedures for law enforcement investigations, and could reasonably be expected to endanger the life or physical safety of any individual. So part of the FBI's application reads, one of the requests at issue is the request assigned request number 1588244-000, which sought T, the entire FBI file for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, DOB 3/29/1952, President-elect of Nigeria as of February 2023. Plaintiff submitted a second FOIA request to the FBI seeking FBI 302 interviews with Bola Tinubu from FBI case number 245 IP-71386 UUUUU during the time frame 1992 to 1993. This was assigned request number 1593615-000. The FBI has invoked various Freedom of Information Act FOIA exemptions, including 6(7)(c), 7(d), 7(e), and 7(f) regarding this request, and determined the following withheld from plaintiff in this case. If disclosed, will, among other things, disclose techniques and procedures of law enforcement. We take a short break and we continue when we return.
Voice of Biafra TV, the voice of truth, the voice of the people.
There is only one broadcasting network.
Voice of Biafra TV,
The first, the best, and the last.
Voice of Biafra TV.
We lead, we shine, we last. The first, the best, and the last. From the east to the world, hear the truth unfold. No other station does it better. Truth be told, real stories, real power, real Biafran soul. Every day, every hour, we taking control.
Breaking every silence, letting voices rise. Standing for the people, opening their eyes. Strong and unshaken, both for all to see. Broadcasting the future.
Voice of Biafra TV. There is only one broadcaster network. Voice of Biafra TV. The first, the best, and the last. Voice of Biafra TV.
First to speak, best to all.
Thank you so much, and welcome back to Voice of Biafra TV. And we continue from where we stopped. And like I said, we also need to see this file so that we see what is inside of it. Maybe that will compel the Nigerian people to wake up to fight against the Islamic Jihad, because they have pampered the Islamic Jihad for many years, while the Islamic Jihad is cutting off the heads of their babies, women, and children. So let's go back to the document that we were reading. So, among other things, disclose techniques and procedures for law enforcement investigations and or could reasonably be expected to endanger the life or physical safety of any individual. So the FBI has determined that it cannot provide on the public record a full basis for the application of exemptions 7E and 7F to certain withholdings, and that therefore an expertise under seal declaration is necessary. The FBI said if the court grants a permission to submit an expertise in camera declaration, it will explain reasons for withholding certain information before August 2028. So it's like on records, there hasn't been anyone that has dug so deep to get these drug records out. I think this is the first time somebody is digging so deep and paying a humongous amount of money to the lobbies and getting all the legal heads to make sure they dig in this information and bring it out. Yeah, that's what we're seeing here now. That is why it has gotten this far and has gone so far. So the plaintiff in the case is Aaron Greenspan, the American founder of Plainsight. Recently, the U.S. Department of Justice requested an additional 10-day extension to respond to a court order concerning the release of records related to allegations of drug trafficking against Tinubu. However, Beryl Howell, the judge, granted only 4 additional days until August 21. Subsequently, Tinubu, through his legal team, joined the USDOJ's request seeking an additional 10-day extension to respond to the court order. And when somebody seeks an extension date in court, it is his or her own right to be granted. Yeah, the court cannot say, no, you must submit it now or today, or you must respond now or today. They will give you that preference to go and take your time, prepare, and then bring what they need. So 10 days extension has been given to them. While FBI are now saying, we cannot release the file because it will endanger the life of some people, and also it will unveil our techniques. So, Howell was said to have declined Tinubu's request. Wow. He said, Howell, let's go back here. They say, however, Beryl Howell, the judge, granted only 4 additional days until August 21st. Subsequently, Tinubu, through his legal team, joined the USDOJ's request seeking an additional 10-day extension to respond to court order. Hey, nah, man, Tinubu fire the bond for Tinubu Nyasho. Is now we see and understand the kind of fire that is burning on Tinubu Nyash. Tinubu should be more worried about the fire that is burning on his Nyash than for him to be going after Okechukwu Nkere, the Brgie Prime Minister. And also for him to stay put and not go after Brgie. Because there is a lot of fire burning on Tinubu Nyash and on his head already. If he get sense, he will just stay put. Leave Brgie, leave Okechukwu Nkere, and then focus on the fire where Atiku Abubakar don't go, they say, for his head. Hey, the thing is getting interesting, honestly. This is why we say we need this case file to come out. This case file needs to come out too. Because the whole show and the game will get more interesting and interesting and interesting. So, from what we hear, the judge was said to decline Tinubu's request of 10 days extension. The case in 2022 and 2023, Greenspan filed 12 FOIA requests with 6 different U.S. federal agencies seeking information from criminal investigation into a Chicago heroin ring that operated in the early 1990s. The Greenspan sought investigative records about 4 named individuals allegedly associated with the drug ring, including Tinubu, Lee Andrew Edwards, Moise Adeboyeka Akande, and Abiodun Agbele. These are the people that their names are on this file, which they want to see. 5 of the U.S. agencies responded, saying that they could neither confirm nor deny the existence of the requested records. Dissatisfied with the responses, Greenspan approached the U.S. DOJ's Office of Information Policy, OIP. The OIP affirmed the agency's refusal to confirm or deny the existence of the requested records. According to the court documents, on June 12, 2023, Greenspan filed a lawsuit challenging the agency's global response to its FOIA request. A global response is an official statement by a U.S. government agency refusing to confirm or deny whether requested records exist. The FBI Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, Internal Revenue Services, IRS, Executive Office for United States Attorneys, EOUSA, and Department of State were initially named as defendants. However, the CIA was later named as a defendant in the first amended complaint. Then in April 2025, Judge Howell held that the responses issued by the FBI and DEA were improper and must be lifted. The judge ruled that the FBI and the DEA failed to provide information to establish cognizable privacy interests exist in keeping secret the fact that Tinubu was a subject of criminal investigation. Orwell held that the two agencies failed to provide evidence demonstrating the burden of sustaining their global responses. Wow. This is quite interesting. And we want to see the end of this game. Please, no matter what they are doing or whatever is happening, they should release the case file. We want to see how the case file will evolve. We want to see what the case file turn out to, and how it will help, and how it will bring remedy to the Nigerian people that are dying. How it will also end Islamic Jihad. How it will also remedy the brains of Nigerians for them to wake up and face the reality. We need this case file to be unveiled. Because if the case file is not unveiled, I tell you that Atiku Abubakar will not relax. All their political maniacs will not relax. So if this is what has been keeping many of you doomed from waking up to face the Islamization agenda in Nigeria, oh my God, please, let the case file be released. We need to see the same way that Maduro was picked up. We also want to see, yes, we want to see the same way that Maduro was picked up. We also want to see how Tinubu will pick up. Let there be justice. Then that is what they want to happen. Let justice come, oh, let justice come, oh. This is quite interesting. Yes. It's quite interesting for those that need to know. So, interestingly, these people you see here are so focused on coming after Brgie, while they have a bigger problem. Yes. The Nigerian government, the Nigerian people have a bigger problem. And they are not going after that bigger problem that they have. Rather, they are going after the Biafran people. Yes. That is why the Biafran government in exile will continue to educate people and to make the world know and hear about what is happening. So, in the line of what is happening, Nigerian government did not go to face, and the Nigerian people did not go to face their drug lord president and see if they can salvage themselves from the hands of Boko Haram terrorists. Instead, they decided to go after the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. And it's so good to see that in America we have people that can speak for you. I mean, it's good for you to be in countries that the government officials protect your interests. Yes. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was using Kenya route to travel while having United Kingdom international passport and nationality. Mazi Simon Ekpa was having Finland nationality. But these two countries failed these two people. Yes, they failed them woefully. We've not even seen any politician in America, in Britain or in Finland coming out to speak in favor of Simon or Nnamdi Kanu. No. They are only concerned about their national interests. They are only concerned about how much money Finland is going to make with Nigeria and how much money UK is going to make with Nigeria. They are not concerned about what is happening to a citizen that has their passport traveling, who was kidnapped by Nigerian government. What ties the knot is the national interest of Finland and Nigeria, UK and Nigeria, but they don't care about the citizens that are involved with their documents.
Voice of Biafra TV, the voice of truth, the voice of the people.
There is only one broadcasting network.
Voice of Biafra TV,
The first, the best, and the last.
voice of Biafra TV.
We lead, we shine, we last. The first, the best, and the last. From the east to the world, hear the truth unfold. No other station does it better. Truth be told, real stories, real power.
Thank you so much, and welcome back to Voice of Biafra TV. So, like we said, Finland and UK have disappointed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon. But we are so happy to see that in America, we have American politicians and think tank groups that immediately they saw that Tinubu was making efforts to get the head of Brgie Prime Minister, Okechukwu Kere. The US lawmakers, they stood up to say something. We have not seen this kind of reaction from Finland politicians. Neither have we seen this kind of reaction from British, UK politicians. No. We've only seen this from the US politicians or the US lawmakers. So it is something to reckon with. It is something for us to be happy with. It is something to talk about. Because if UK government had people like this that had to speak in favor or to speak up for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when the UK government aligned with Nigerian government to see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's successful kidnap was done without them even saying anything or doing anything till today or making any effort to condemn Nigeria and to order Nigeria to release their citizens, the case would have been different. Yes, the case would have been different. But this is America. And we have US lawmakers who stand up and tell Tinubu and tell Nigerian government, hey, you guys, stop that nonsense in Finland and the UK. You cannot come and do it in America with our own citizens. We protect their lives and we value their lives, their interests, what they fight for. And we will speak truth to the evil that they are doing. So we have US lawmakers speaking for Biafra. And this is what we have ever longed for and wanted in life, where a US lawmaker will give a voice when Nigerian government want to destroy every Biafran leader. And the other day, in the floor of Congress, you've also seen that the US lawmaker, Congressman James, raised a resolution to the US Congress to interfere on the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which Nigerian government kidnapped. All these are made possible in this very dispensation. If Brgie did not and never engage the US lawmakers to educate them and inform them of what is happening, they wouldn't be of the know. Because the Biafra people, the IPOB organization, has existed since 2012. And there had not been this breakthrough in Washington, D.C. At Brgie, from yesterday to this very day, you are seeing miracles. 2023 coming down to 2026, everywhere they are crying because of what Brgie is doing in Washington, D.C. Hey, let the fire continue to burn. Let the fire continue to burn. I have a question for everyone. And that question is, have you ever wondered, have you ever asked, how come Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was using American documents? And he said to be, was using a British document. And he said to be a British citizen, traveling with a British passport. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu traveling with a British passport. But we don't see British lawmakers and parliament picking on the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is now in America that the US lawmaker is raising the matter in the floor of US Parliament, passing a resolution, raising a motion that the US Congress should interfere in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is a British citizen with British passport traveling when he was kidnapped. The very country which he has their passport care less about him. There's now America, which he is not using American passport, that is now carrying his burden on their head. To those of you that are clapping for Britain, UK, shame on you. Because that is the mother and the father of slavery of modern time. If you do not know it now. Ask yourself this very simple question. Have you seen a US lawmaker speaking for Biafra? Prime Minister Okechukwu Nkere, which Nigerian government want to come and kidnap and take down to Nigeria? Then we are asking, you are still seeing U.S. lawmakers, raising a motion in the floor of Congress of America for there to be intervention in the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case of Nigeria. But you have not seen the UK government and their parliament and their lawmakers raising a motion in their chambers and making it mandatory that their UK government, you have not seen in UK parliament, you have not seen the UK parliamentarians raising a motion and passing a resolution and calling on a prayer that their government should mandate Tinubu Nigerian government to release their citizen who is their passport holder. UK is not doing it. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is using UK passport. There is America that is now doing it, which Nnamdi Kanu is not using American passport. The people that you have their passport that you answer the name, the Commonwealth of England, the UK passport, United Kingdom. They don't care about you. They only care about the national interest, what they will share in common with Nigeria and UK. Collect the oil and gas money. Let the shell money and the exploitation continue. They don't give a damn about what happens to any other person. Then you now cross over to America. American lawmakers are now the one carrying the case of a UK citizen, while the government of UK ignores everything about their citizen. Chai! Hello, Mero. So, the Biafra Republic government in exile are very happy to have its headquarters in Washington, D.C. We are very happy to have Biafra Republic government in exile in Washington, D.C. And we are seeing one of its results. This moral support that you see here, this political support that you see here, is more than what you understand. Ex-US envoy knocks Nigerian government over alleged violence against Christians. U.S. diplomat Tibonage. Former United States Assistant Secretary of State for Africa, Tibonage, has berated the Nigerian government for failing to admit that there is targeted violence against Christians in the country. Nigerian news report that Nagy shared his reservations in a post on X. Nagy also claimed there are efforts in the U.S. to expose sanctions on American-based separatist leader Okechukwu Nkere. He lamented that Nigerians suffered greatly in the Biafran War and are still recovering from its effects. He said Nigerians in former Biafra suffered greatly, never fully recovering from the horrendous war. Also tragic is the Nigerian government refusal to admit there is a huge problem with targeted violence against Christians. The Nigerian government should try giving Biafran justice, security, and good governance, instead of trying to suppress their freedom of expression outside Nigeria. That would be a much better use of their funds. Meanwhile, the United States mission has urged Nigerians to comply with U.S. immigration laws regarding their stay in their country. Nigerian news report that the Commission gave the directive in a statement on X. This one does not interest us. What interests us is the upper part of the story, which Ambassador Tibonage spoke here. For many of you that may not understand the significance of having a voice like Ambassador Tibonage speaking for Biafra, I tell you that you have a long way to go Because when you have one person speaking for you, where there are no people speaking for you, it means you have a voice. So we should be asking British government and Finland government, where are your own diplomats to speak for your citizens? Because we can see American diplomats speaking for the citizens of America who are fighting for Biafra. So why can't we as well see UK and Finland diplomats speaking for their own citizens? Well, that goes a long way to explain to you that where you need to go and stand for this freedom and get all the support that is recommended and needed is America. If Okechukwu Nkere were to be in Europe or UK or Africa or Asia or any other country aside from US, Tinubu's effort to capture Okechukwu Nkere would have worked out a long time ago. Yes, it would have gotten the desired result. But you see, in America, before you walk through to capture any American citizen, you must first walk through the American government. Walk through the American government first. When you finish walk through the American government, we will know if you successfully got the American citizen out of America. Yeah. Because America don't sell their citizens because of oil and gas. American government will go very far to rescue one citizen of America. American government will go very far to rescue one citizen of America that has been stuck in the hand of terrorists, no matter where the place is. They don't abandon their own. They don't let you behind. They don't allow the terrorists to rejoice because of having a clinch on your location. They'll make sure for you to answer the name American citizen, you will feel the worth even till death. That is the America that we see. That is the America that we know. So it's a great honor to see that the Biafran people at this time, at Brgie, have its prime minister in Washington, D.C., where he is properly protected by the American government. And not just protected, the U.S. diplomat can speak to protect him when they see that the Nigerian government are coming after him. Very exceptional. Something we did not see in the scenario of other Biafran past leaders that happen to be in other countries. So, Biafrans, recently, the Biafra Republic government in exile through its Prime Minister, testified in the State Department. Yes. And many people did not understand what this testimony also signified. And there are some media houses that we've not even seen before, publishing about Biafra. Yeah, but today, they are taking the lead. Biafra government in exile. Biafra government in exile. Whatever you are doing is speaking volume. Those that are on the fence, or those that do not take what you're doing to be serious, they know the gravity of the result and the damages that you're doing to Nigeria. Having had the opportunity to break through Washington, D.C. this far, and to continue to educate the U.S. lawmakers and policymakers on Biafra, Nigeria are feeling the heat. Yesterday night, we held a program, and the question was centered on this very U.S. State Department testimony of Brgie. We posed some pertinent questions to those that were available or listened to the space. Questions like, would Brgie have been able to appear in the U.S. Congress and testify of Biafra if the Prime Minister or the leaders of Brgie are to represent the Biafran people from Nigerian prison? You get to see that the answers are very clear. The president of Venezuela was picked up by the American government, still on these drug trafficking issues. And since when it was picked up, we've not heard or seen that the Venezuelan people are being led or commanded or controlled by Maduro, a prisoner inside American prison. What we've seen was that the Venezuelan people now have a new leader leading the country, moving in transition in line with the template that the American government is giving them. So why haven't the president of Venezuela decided to, or had the power to lead the Venezuela country from inside American prison? Because there is nothing that can happen from inside the prison. You cannot stay inside prison and determine the economic growth of Venezuela. You can't stay inside prison and determine the economic growth of Biafra. You can't stay inside prison and determine the way forward of Biafra. How on earth can somebody be even having this kind of thought? A person that is a prisoner will now be leading people that are free on the outside. It sounds so mundane. It's as if all the people that are outside are all deaf and dumb. They are all blind. They can't see road. They don't know their left from the right. So it's somebody that is inside prison that only see road that can lead them and can make decisions for them. I have one question to ask. If, peradventure, that person that you people claim is the only one that have eye, that is inside prison, to lead you that you are outside here, if that person is no more and cannot also make use of his eye to lead you, what happens to your entire life outside here? Does it mean that your entire life will die within seconds? Because you tied your entire life, your eye and your brain, and every notion of your life to a prisoner that is in prison to take decisions and to decide your life. That is why Boko Haram terrorists is coming to visit all of you in your communities. Because many of you want to sit down and wait until you see some of your past leaders that are in prison when they will come out before you now decide to go and fight the terrorists that have invaded your communities. The testimony of the Biafra Republic government in exile in the U.S. State Department is one of its kind that has never happened. Same way the historic congressional testimony never happened before. We've heard that Biafran people have existed on the map for over 500 years, but there had never been a time that Biafrans had the opportunity to present that their identity in the U.S. Congress, talk less of the State Department. Reject Nigeria Cultural Property Agreement over alleged persecution, Nkere tells U.S. State Department. And we are even perplexed that media houses that we never knew before are the ones digging in so more to publish about the affairs and the results of Brgie. We never knew about this media house, Outlook Media TV. There is another one here. It's another media house that is called Ground News. Never knew about Ground News before. We just saw Ground News that they were writing about this U.S. State Department testimony of the Biafra Republic government in exile Prime Minister Nkere. So Biafrans, your works are paying off. Your names are written in marbles, your stories, your diplomatic work are ongoing in Washington, D.C. All you have to do is to key in and support. Give your support. Yes. We need all your support. This is a lifetime dream come true that we never had. When we now have the opportunity to present Biafran matters before Congress. Forget about what the politicians of One Nigeria are doing in Biafra land in the name of 2027 elections. It is the same playbook and the same card that has been played before. And there is nothing good that can come out of it. You've done One Nigeria elections since 1960 to this very day. There's nothing good that has come out before now. Biafran babies, women, and children were slaughtered just for being Biafrans. If Nigeria is good and wants Biafrans amongst them, will you be slaughtering babies, women, and children of Biafra? The genocide that is happening today is a continuation of what the Nigerian government had started on the indigenous people of Biafra. The Christian genocide that you see today. Nigerian government gave the handbook to the Islamic jihadist terrorists. So the Islamic jihadist terrorists, they are using the handbook of the Nigerian terrorist government. They follow the same template which they had used against the Biafran people in slaughtering their babies, their women, and children. That is why there is no amount of weeping or cry, yelling and wailing that can stop the Islamic Jihad. What will stop the Islamic Jihad in Nigeria is your determination to end the Islamic Jihad. What the Biafran people are doing is to see that they bring them to an end. We had formed a defense mechanism, and that defense mechanism is working very well. And we did not just stop there. Our eyes and our voices, our ears and our body in Washington, D.C., so that when we are defending motherland, we will have opportunity to present it before Congress. Don't go and fight only in the homeland and say, I have a vigilante group. Then you don't have a voice or presenting what you are doing in the homeland to the U.S. Congress. No. Have you asked yourself why Atiku Abubakar is running to the U.S. to go and get a lobby to fight Tinubu so that his own political party can come up? Don't you understand the meaning of this feud of Tinubu's drug document files coming out, being released? You see, Atiku Abubakar is the one that is carrying it, because he must see that Tinubu's political party is brought down, while his own has to do what? Go up. So while he is fighting for his political position in the homeland of Nigeria, he is now taking the matter to American Congress, so that while he is fighting in the homeland, he will have where to also report to, so that he will also have it in the higher authority. They are learning and taking this dressing of political lobbying from the Biafra Republic of Exile. When we started the lobbying campaign in 2024 in Washington, D.C., they were laughing at us. But today, a presidential candidate of Nigeria is now going to do the same lobbying that Brgie are lobbying in Washington, D.C. for emerging nations. I thought Nigeria is a country with independence. So how come Nigeria now, Nigerian politicians now, are also going to lobby alongside Brgie in Washington, D.C.? Hello, Mary. Why can't they use their sovereignty power to take decision and do what they have to do? Do they also have to come and plead the American government for interference? Same way that the Biafran people who are seeking support are coming to the US government. So Biafran people, you have to come and support BRGIA, the Biafran Republic Government in Exile. This is the only government that has your interest and tables your issue and problems in Washington, D.C. If you do not align with your government, you are doing yourself more harm than good. All right, at this time, we shall be relaying Washington, D.C., Biafra Republic Government in Exile Exporter, Prime Minister. He's live and direct, and he will be joining us in Voice of Biafra TV for his press briefing. Prime Minister, can you hear me? Is the connection okay from your end?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much. And welcome to Voice of Biafra TV once again. It's good to have you here again. How is Washington, D.C.? And how is the weather going, sir?
We are still in summer. In a few weeks, it will be over. And Washington, D.C., as usual, it's the capital of the world. It's always busy. So we are hanging there, doing what we're supposed to do. And especially now that our freedom is in our hand, especially now that we are doing everything we can to make sure that United States of America work with the Biafran people. Thank you very much, Minister of Information, and good evening from here. Fellow citizens, cabinet members, rep and admin, good evening from here. It is a pleasure to be with you this evening from my end, and also to talk about some disturbing issue, what is happening in our movement, because our freedom we must get, and we must be free. A lot have been happening, and I'm so happy that this current Biafra Republic government in exile leadership, both rep and me, we all understand and we all know what we need to do for us to be free. First of all, we need to be tough, strong, remain resolute. We need to remember that we are freedom fighting. We also need to remind Biafrans that this government is born out of necessity. And this government is not a political correctness government. It is a freedom fighting government. And we will fight as freedom fighters. Not being too loud. We are too loud. Leaders before us have shown that Leaders before us are too loud. They talk too much. They're full of themselves, self-centered, egomaniac. I'm happy that I'm fighting this great cause with you. And in the course of this great journey, I have learned a lot. Every minute, every hour, my brain works like a computer. I always think about what is the problem? What is going on? Where do we get it wrong? We are not the first to fight for freedom in this planet Earth. Nations, countries have gone through this pattern before us. If you recall, weeks ago, months ago, years ago, I always cry out loud if we don't fund our security, if we don't take care of our defense. The Islamic jihadist terrorists, how they will kill us, overrun us, take of our land. My fellow citizens, we better choose either to live or to die. No one can force us for us to get our freedom. You can only take a horse or donkey to the stream to drink water, but you can't force that horse or donkey. No one can force Biafrans to be free. If we want to be free, we will be free. If we don't want to be free, we will not be free. If we want to be perished in the hand of these Islamic jihadist terrorists, we will be perished. If we don't fund our freedom, Benue will be a child play. If we allow these terrorists to keep killing us, don't complain. Don't cry about it. Don't post it on social media. Even God in heaven will not listen to you because you refuse to do the right thing. Because you refuse to fund your freedom. Biafrans, we are good people, and there is a lot of saboteurs among us. These are people that are planted among Biafrans way long before now. It's not something of 10, 20, 30 years ago. It is a planned deal how to destroy the people of Biafra. That is why you see a lot of Biafra sabotaging what we are doing. People like that are not real Biafrans. We are too loud. Let's talk less and do more. For almost 2 weeks now, I haven't even tweeted or post. I'm just doing what is necessary. There is a lot going behind the scene. Biafra is here. We just need to open the door. How do you open the door? How do you get in Biafra? You need to go get the key. If it is to get the key, do it. If it is to pay to get the key to get in Biafra, we need to do it. A lot of US lawmakers do rely on me. I know what they talk about. I know what echo in my ear. Sometimes we have been asked to help them in certain area to know what is going on, even to other area of Nigeria, apart from Biafra land. They know who we are. They know we are Biafrans. They know we must be free from Nigeria. Nigeria is not a country. It's not a nation. Good Lord Jonathan confesses. He quotes from those before him, like Tafawa Balewa, Nnamdi Azikiwe. They all confess that Nigeria is not a country. It's created by the British government. Honorable Minister of Information, there's this video we need to really analyze. I don't know if you're able to put it together yet. Nigeria is not created to benefit the people of Biafra, nor even the people of Benue, not even the Oduduwa Republic, Yoruba people. It's to benefit the British. We are too loud. We complain too much. We want to talk about how the white people colonize us. We allow them to colonize us. It is the business of that day. It is also the business of today. You have to negotiate. So both of you can meet at least 50-50 and have a good handshake. But our forefathers before us, they poorly negotiate. And sometimes, because of their generosity and their kindness, they took advantage of them. But will you blame the white people? I don't blame them. It is not their fault. It is the business of that time. Just like today, that these Islamic jihadist terrorists, they are trying to conquer us. They are trying to chase us out of our land. They are trying to Islamize us. If we don't push them back, if we don't kick them out, if we don't fight back, if they take over our land, are you going to blame them or you blame yourself for not defending your family, for not defending yourself? Are you going to blame them or are you going to blame yourself for sabotaging your own people? We are too loud. We talk too much. In few weeks' time, I want to prepare your mind to be tough, to be strong. I'm going to fire back on those leaders before us. They put us in this mess because of bad leadership, because of self-centered, because of egomania. They don't believe in you and I. They only believe in themselves. If possible, they will compare themselves to God Almighty. It's a shame. We are too loud. Before the end of 2024, we have Biafra Republic government in exile, have cabinet member over 60. And these so-called cabinet members, when you call them for emergency fundraising, do you know? Just ask them to raise $10,000 emergency fundraising. You will not get it. And you have doctors there, professors there, both those that parade like king, a queen. they can come up with $10,000. They're too loud, fake people. Just few days ago, I saw some fools in Finland. Those that are following this Jezebel woman called Ngozi Rabezi. How they are showcasing themselves. And time is coming when I will analyze what actually happened. Hypocrisy! I saw the one that dressed like a king, and the one that dressed like queen. The one that live in Austria. His name is Opera. He says he's Chief Opera. Chief, or how will I go address that man as chief? This is a man that when Austria hosted town hall meeting, not one, not two, he can't even give us $100. 100 Ejima, we call it dollar. That's what our allies or those that don't know what Ejima is. He can't even boast of, say he's contributing $200-300 to support what we are doing. Fake people. And I think their boss is asking them for another 100 and something thousand to help him for some stuff he need to upset. Ask all these people, all the professors, doctors there, 100 and something thousand, they can't even dig their hand, put in their pocket, and say, let's use this to help him. They believe they love him so much. But this little finance, that 100 of them, if they decide to donate 1,500, that is 150. If it is 50 of them, and they decide to donate to 2,000, that is 100. Then to 2,005, that is almost going to 150. Think about how many people that appear in Finland. Check how much they spend for their ticket. Some probably spend 2,000-3,000. Some probably going to spend up to 4,000 for the duration of whatever going on there. But if you ask these fake people, these hypocrite people, please bring this money. Let's use it and fund the defense. They will not bring it. Even if you ask them, the man that they believe they love so much, they believe he's fighting for Biafra for them. If you ask them, please, let them donate 5,000, not even to come to Finland, so that he can use it to solve his problem. They will say they don't have it. Who are you going to blame? Are you going to blame them, or are you going to blame their leader? You blame the leadership. The same way what is happening in Nigeria today, you blame the government of Nigeria. You blame the leadership. All Biafran's leaders have made too much mistake. Apart from Philip Efiam, even our leader Ojukwu, he made a big mistake. Very big one. He allowed himself to be dragged into the Nigerian political arena. They play him like football, trying to make him validate Biafran people staying in Nigeria. It's a shame. It's a shame. My fellow citizens, be strong. Very soon, all this will be over. Very soon, all this will be over. We have had too many fake people, full of propaganda, lies, deceit. Like the evil woman that lives in Georgia, they call Ngozi Arabezi. In Biafra struggle is